It's deprogrammed. My name is Justin, and I'm your host. Yeah, I said it. What of it? I'm also apparently pretentious and a douche, but we're not going to dive into that because there's really no reason to. There's much more important things to get to, including today we're talking about AHA, but also, hey, think about this. $1 a month, patreon.com/ohhijustin. I want you to ponder that. Keep that in your mind as you listen to this program, and then I'll make a harder pitch for it at the end of the episode. Today, we are talking AHA. So let me bring in our wonderful panel. To my right, Jody. How are you?
Well, I'm here.
It's a start.
It's a good start because there's a part of me that didn't want to show up because I just wanted to rage. Rage, I tell you. There was another part of me that just wanted to show up at the first two albums and said, fuck you guys. But...
Yeah, and we will definitely get into that.
My cut list has pieces of my soul in it, and this is your fault. I realized I suggested this. Matter of fact, myself and the yet to be and the yet to be identified person,
mystery guest,
at the same time suggested it. But I'm still blaming you because you're the host.
See, this is why I've avoided that
This is why you
term.
avoid that title, because it makes it all your fault. Well, now it's all your fault.
It is indeed all my fault. And
now stew in it.
Yet to be identified guest is the lovely, talented, and thin. This is very svelte, Bryan Lewis.
Hi. I've come here to announce my retirement from the show forever because I don't even know why I do this to myself. I hate it. It's like Sophie's Choice. You just rename the show to Sophie's Choice. Seriously. I hate it. I hate coming here. I hate making these cuts. I'm slicing pieces of my body off, coming here every single time.
Here's a finger. Here's an arm.
So this is it. I've had enough. I'm done. This is my last show. You heard it here first.
Until next time.
Wu-Tang, sorry. Not going to make it.
Until next time, anyway. So we're doing AHA, and as Jody already mentioned, we did In Excess like November, October, somewhere around there. And this came about then. And I mean, it kept getting pushed off for scheduling reasons, whatever. But here we are. So talk to me before we get into like hurting yourself for the cuts. Talk to me about AHA and their importance to your life.
All right. So
sorry, I was looking at Jody. I didn't make that audible.
You didn't, but that's okay. This is an audio medium, and you're allowed to fail in an audio medium because everyone
visual
does.
bits always work.
I'm a constant failure too.
Just keep casting that gaze, and it'll eventually make it through the microphone, and the listeners will know. No, they won't. So, all right. So I think probably not too dissimilarly from the gentleman to my right. I grew up as part of the MTV generation. I sat there and watched the Moon Man loop on day one of MTV. So videos, big part of my experience with music, and I will always blame remote control for destroying MTV.
You know, let's not make a big deal out of it.
Yeah, but we're going to. So my first exposure to AHA was, as probably most people's that are aware of them, was Take On Me, and thus the video of that.
Right.
Which I want to say was probably, I think it was only the second video at the time, and possibly the second mainstream release of anything that used a mixture of live and rotoscope the way they did it.
I believe so, yes.
So that was my initial exposure. And the song had already been in rotation for a while. Matter of fact, their second album had already come out by the time I had been exposed to the song. And so I was exposed to it in what I guess one could argue by the second album's release was the air quote intended viewership, because I got to see that followed up immediately by The Sun Always Shines on TV, the conclusion of that video. Because the first 15, 20 seconds of The Sun Always Shines on TV is the end of Take On Me. Oh. And I, at that moment, developed an appreciation, a real appreciation for synth pop. I'd already liked it. It was already, kind of what was popular at the time, but it always felt more of the pop side of it. And this was the first synth pop I'd been exposed to that had a soul.
There we go.
That there was real meaning in there rather than just, we found synths and we like this sound.
So it connected to you on that deeper level.
Yeah,
so
this was something to listen to for the experience, not just because it was what was on.
So Bryan, I imagine at least sound-wise,
It's not too dissimilar, my story, actually. You were saying, sound-wise.
sound-wise, it's right up your alley. I could tell, like, pretty much from Jump Street.
I mean, I've always been... I was definitely more on the electro punk side of things with Gary Newman and Devo and stuff like that. But I've always had an affinity for pop music. I never understood why people shit on pop music. It's the hardest thing in the world to write a pop song.
Yeah.
No matter how simple the song is, it's hard to please everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It's the hardest thing in the world to do. And I've always appreciated having pop sensibilities in a band. I think I have a great sense of pop sensibilities in the music that I make. But I always love electronic music as well. As analog as I am as a person, I do love synthesizers. I love dance beats, all that stuff. I love it. And I still, to this day, think that a-ha's Take On Me is the second greatest music video of all time, behind Thriller. The third would be Sledgehammer from Peter Gabriel.
Yes. Speaking my language.
Yeah. But and the fact that it was influenced by Altered States, the movie, which is a great underrated movie. If anyone hasn't seen it, go watch it. But especially if you like drugs and intellectualism, it's really good.
Oh.
But his voice has always struck me in a way that I really appreciate about singers. In the way that, like, Nina Persson from the Cardigans does, where it doesn't matter what she says, it just hits me and it just wrenches my soul.
There we go.
And he has that voice where it makes me cry a lot, man. Like, it really, like not necessarily in a bad way, but it's like, God, I feel that.
Yeah,
I just
right on the vein.
It's unmitigated emotion from his voice, and you can just hear it. He has a vulnerable quality I really love in vocalists. So
for me, obviously, I have the one song going into
Right.
this.
Yeah.
A-ha is completely new
it's
for me.
my favorite song from the 80s, period.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I will say this because that's how you lead this whole thing off. It leads off the first album. I have a better appreciation for that song now, hearing it in context, than I probably ever have. I mean, I liked it as a kid, loved the video. Then it becomes cool to not like it at some point in my life.
Never for me.
Well,
But I've always loved Weird Al, too, so I'm glad he was never uncool for me.
Same
growing
here,
up.
actually, which is odd. But then it became cool to cover it. Real Big Fish did actually a really good cover of it. I really enjoyed the Real Big Fish cover it.
Yeah.
And then it kind of, I don't want to say went out of my mind because it's always been there.
Right.
It just
Yeah.
didn't really think about it until I pushed play on this playlist the first time and I hear that song and I hear all the layers really for the first time, like actually paying attention to it. And I'm like, this really is a great song. No wonder it's still around. And then the funny part is the way the rest of the discography is almost separate from that.
Yeah.
Like this is how it leads off,
Mhm.
but everything else is not that.
It's
Like,
so
it's-
much. It's so much more complex and meaningful.
Right.
Yeah.
The after Hunting High and Low, they kind of shifted away from the synth pop for a while. They
Mhm.
came back, but they shifted away from it. So yeah, after that first album, they're just like, oh, wait a minute, there's other stuff. And interesting though, they never lose, like you said, the layering that everything that they've done. I think it's almost a tragedy to listen to them on anything other than a well-isolated sound system, because so much of every song is multi-layered, and then you'll hear things on a good set of headphones or just in a clean sounding room that you won't notice, playing it in your car. Whole instruments just disappear
Yeah.
if you don't have good audio.
Well, and I mean, just to your point, just the difference in hearing it in my radio to just hearing it in my buds as I was walking was a world of difference.
It's why I always have loved Genesis too.
Yeah.
You hear every nuance of every instrument,
Mm-hmm.
and as an audiophile, I can't stand when people listen to music like from their phone speakers or their laptop speakers. I'm like, could you just listen to it like on adult speakers, like a normal person, please? Like, you don't have to have high end stuff, but like, there's so much going on here that you're missing.
Yeah. Yeah.
if you're not listening.
What's funny is just since we're on the topic, I feel that way about the Smashing Pumpkins as well. Like, they're huge like auditory nuance. In Yeah.
the Smashing Pumpkins. That
well, they pull a lot from the '80s, and I wouldn't say Aha specifically, but in that same genre, like you can tell specifically in like an Adore, where he's pulling from a Depeche Mode, and it's there. You just have to listen for it. But to bring it back to Aha, like I somewhere in the middle. I don't want to say they lost me, because they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it for what it was. Like, as whole albums, I enjoyed them. But when it comes to this conversation, I'm like, I don't know if I need this. I've got this here, and this is really cool, but I don't know if it stands up to the rest of the. But when you get to those last two albums, what a breath of fresh air.
That's because they weren't running away from the sound that made them famous. When I understand why they did that. I've been doing that ever since I left the gloom. But they're really good at doing that.
Yeah.
Doing synth pop. I mean, they were probably every person born in the late 70s, early 80s, first introduction to even what synth pop was. You know, like they didn't invent it, but they certainly perfected it, at least with Take On Me, as far as anyone else is concerned.
Yeah.
But they certainly tried to run away from it for a while. And I understand it, and they did some good stuff. They went
It's just
from,
not
they
their
went
best.
from aha to uh-huh. Okay.
Well done.
All
Yes.
right, yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's start talking about it. You are very thorough when you do your list, Jody.
To my detriment.
So, already knowing that you've already thrown out like the first two albums you probably could have just been with. So let's do it. Like, how did you get your 20 here?
Oh, many hours of reliving large parts of my childhood through mid-teens and cursing your name, Allah Khan.
Yeah, well,
So yeah, that.
at least you still love me.
Yeah. It's a good thing I fronted the mixer before this episode. No, seriously though,
He's not going to be an Indian giver about that, so
No.
you're good. You're fine.
It's fine. But yeah, so I made a concerted effort not to take the convenient 20 tracks from the first two albums and just make them the beginning of my initial list, because I knew that wasn't going to go well. So they instead became the first 12 songs of my list. So, yeah. No.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I was there too.
Yeah.
Believe me. Yeah.
Yeah. So technically my last cut change was today at work. And then on the way here, I re-listened to everything just to make sure I wanted to go with that, because I finally made it down to 20 yesterday. I think it was yesterday. And then I realized at work today that one of the songs I had on there I couldn't justify leaving it there for the reason that I had left it there, which will probably come up at some point later. So I took it off, and then now I had 10 songs to put into that one slot. So yeah, and I think that's probably all I can really say about this without beating myself up again. So
Well,
we're just gonna move on.
Yeah. So Bryan.
I made my last cut walking up the stairs here. I looked over, I saw Jody parked next to me, and I was like, he's doing the same shit, so I don't feel bad about this. But I was giving my list to last once over. Like, I did Hunting High and Low last on purpose, because I knew that I would have a lopsided list otherwise. And I ended up lopsided in other directions that I didn't expect.
Oh.
So it
I
worked
mean,
out.
Yeah, at least there's that, right?
Yeah.
For me, if it's a new band, which it almost always is nowadays, I go just start from finish, or at least as best as I can.
Right.
And like you both said, by the time I'm done with the first 2 records, I had like 13, 14 songs. I was like, oh God, this is not going to be good. So in the middle, there's hardly any easy outs. First album, no easy outs.
No.
Or first 2 albums, no easy outs. The next couple, it's like, okay, I don't need this. I've got this sound represented. And then I get to the last 2, and those ones were really hard to cut from.
It was we talked about this on the show before with other bands where it's like if you take a song out of the record, it like cheapens the whole record because the whole thing and I feel like those last 2 records are of that ilk where it's like I can't pick 3 songs on this record that are great because the whole record is great, and if you just take a snippet of it, it's like watching a scene out of context in a movie. If you don't know the context of everything, it sounds like shit or it looks like shit, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was hard, those last 2 records, honestly, really hard.
I found that my second round of cuts was a little easier because, like you were just saying, like a lot of especially those last 2 albums are albums and they kind of need each other.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, this doesn't sound as right without this before it. So I was like, okay, I can lose this. I don't know if I've ever had more brutal time getting from, I think it was like 25, 26 down to 20. Those last handful of cuts.
I honestly thought I was going to lie and come here today and said 20 and still had 22. So I had to make major cuts that I might not ever be the same person again, actually.
I had 29 earlier this week.
Yeah.
And I like the first 2 or 3. I was like, okay, these, I don't need these. And then, like I said, that last handful was just like, but this, it's really good. I need this one. But then I'd hear something else. I'd be, no, I need this one. And it's like, what do I do here? So we're going to find out what happens because I honestly, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think no matter what we do, we're going to have a good 10 to offer to people. That being said, the name of the game is Deprogrammed. The 3 of us have sat through, what was it, 7? We decided it was 7 records. And we've sifted through, grabbed 20 tracks that we each thought we could represent the band with, and we're going to mash them together to try to make a top 10 starter kit for you, the listener, to check out the band. Another thing, I was actually just talking to my wife about this because she was saying, I don't know why you guys would do an 80s band, because I was just kind of listening through some of the songs, and she's like, well, who would discover a band that's been around this long? And I was like, well, first of all, I am.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not about me discovering it, but like, you never know who's listening.
Right.
Somebody may have skipped over AHA, just like me. But it's also because people like to yell at us for all the wrong picks.
Yeah.
That's what this show's about.
The internet loves to complain. Who'd have thought?
Yeah.
And so if we don't give them something to complain about, then we're letting the internet down.
It's true.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
I do have to point out.
You're welcome, internet.
I do have to point out that the last 2 panel members that have come aboard, John F. and John A., were both listeners who were like, you know what, I'm tired of
Did you do a
yelling
show
at my phone.
with They Might Be Giants?
I was kind of wondering that myself, actually.
That is weird, but yes. It's John Allison is from here. John Farrar is from Atlanta, and they both were listeners, and they just got tired of yelling at their phones. And they
Thought
were like,
they'd yell at you directly?
yes.
Cool.
So
Sweet.
I'm just saying, if you're a listener and want to get involved,
You want to
it's
yell at
easy.
Justin?
You want to yell at me? It's cool.
I can
Hop
tell
on
you
in.
it's really fun to yell at Justin. You should do it.
It relieves a lot of stress, most of which he caused.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I also want to point out that I've had somebody reach out. Hey, look, I try to please the people. If you're listening to this, I know you mentioned something about it. Judas Priest is on the list, waiting for a panel member or panel for it.
I'm in.
And
Oh wait, I'm retired. Never mind.
Yeah.
Forget that.
Yeah, you can't do that.
and Kid Rock was the other one.
Definitely out on that.
Kid Rock is interesting to me. So
Are you doing what priest? Are we doing all priest?
I don't know yet. Like you're the first one who said they'd be willing to. It's on the list. Nobody's jumped on it yet. So
I might have some people that would Skype in for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
I'll talk to him.
we'll have to. I know jack about Priest, so that'll be another one of those bands that we'll have to put it around. So again, the name of the game is Deprogrammed, and I think I'm going to start here because I think this is track 2. I'd have to look at the album. You know what?
You're usually a track 1 guy.
I am.
Curveball.
But, we mentioned what track 1 is. And I'm
Yes.
just trying to...
I know where you're going.
Maybe Justin should have had this up before. Oh, P shot, yeah. I just wanted to make sure I was right. I heard this immediately went, oh, they're not that. Not that there was anything wrong with Take On Me, but this gave me a completely different perception of what I was about to get into.
Right.
I'm going train of thought.
I have it on mine, yes.
Hard cut, huh?
It was.
Jody's bleeding to death right now, everybody.
Yeah,
See,
that was.
Jody takes notes of the whens when they drop out.
Third from the last one I got.
Wow.
Ooh, wow.
Well, I mean, I don't feel so bad about it. All right, we will move to the right. Jody, you are up.
All right. Look, I'm just gonna go ahead and get this out of the way because it's. I don't care. I really don't give a fuck. Take On Me, because it is an amazing song. As this lovely gentleman over here
Just
pointed to.
gentlemen's fine.
Okay, well, look,
This is
beauty's
Bryan
in the
over
eye of the
here.
beholder, and these are my malfunctioning eyes.
There's
So
no point in lying to people.
you anyway, it did make people aware of this entire genre. So I'm gonna have to go with it. It's there, and you know what? Y'all don't have it. I don't care.
Well, it's important that it makes the discussion because no, I don't have it.
I can't speak more highly of this song, and I cut it because everyone in the world knows the song. So I cut it really basically like I want somebody else to get into
yeah.
Other songs other than this.
Well,
song.
and like I explained with Train of Thought, like when it switches from Take On Me to Train of Thought, I was like, oh, I'm way more. Even though Take On Me actually blew me away when I was listening to it, like it's way better than I ever gave it credit for.
I've never been sad in my life when that song came on. It makes me genuinely happy every time I hear it.
And when Train of Thought comes on, it completely changed my perception of the band. Like just immediately. I've never had that happen before, where from the first song to the second song, complete perception change. So
Now this song probably wouldn't have gotten much of anywhere if it hadn't been for the fact that by the time that the U.S. audience heard it, it had already been re-recorded twice.
Yeah.
This is the third full revision of this song. It was popular in Norway when it came out. It didn't make it in the UK. They re-recorded it. It kind of made it in the UK. They re-recorded it again on the US release, and that's when it exploded. If you get a hold of the deluxe version of Hunting High and Low and listen to the demo, you'll understand why. Not that I'm knocking their demo version, and that was kind of the sound of the first release. I'm not knocking it at all. I love it. But you have to kind of be a connoisseur of synth music to appreciate it.
you actually made note of that. I was finishing up the second record, and you're like, go back and listen to that if you get a chance. And
How the demo started, yeah.
yeah, and I was like, oh, okay.
Their demo stuff, especially like this track and the initial release of it, has a bouncy Devo feel, which if you're not into that kind of music, you're just going to let that one pass.
Yeah.
Right. All right, Bryan?
All right. I will start with my absolute favorite Aha song from the record that I have the most songs from, and I refuse to cut any of them. I was firm about that. I'm not going to cut any of these. I love them. Not the whole record, but the ones I picked from it. Stay on These Roads.
Oh.
It's the that chorus, the way he sings it, it's one of those meaningful things I've ever heard, even though it might not mean anything to him. But when I hear it, it's just beautiful.
That was in that 29 I was telling you about earlier. One of those super hard.
I could not live without this song. I could not.
Yeah, that did not make it. But then a lot of stuff, sadly, did not make it.
That's the album. I don't want to say where they start losing me, but like that's where I was like, okay, well, if I'm going to cut anything, this is where the cuts are coming. So,
I feel like with the next 2 records. But
all right, let's. I'm going to stay on that album because.
I see what you did there. Stay on these roads, huh?
Mm-hmm. I don't even know that this is even better. I don't think this is better than Stay on These Roads. I appreciated what it is, like sound-wise, and it felt different. It was bouncier, touchy.
Nope.
No, that one didn't even actually make it on my first pass, and I think it was a I will cut this, not a this doesn't deserve to be here. Just a it's going to lose, so I'm not going to put myself through that one later.
Jody's like, you're stupid.
No,
it's okay,
you're
you
not
can call
stupid. Because I don't know. There's maybe 3 or 4 songs in the entire set that we covered that I would say probably shouldn't be on the 10
I
list.
can't wait till I have them.
Yeah, but that's the thing. There's so few songs in this whole group that are like, nah, I wouldn't use that as an introduction. That, you're not stupid. You just got grabbed by something else.
Yep. All right, Jody. But it's okay to call me stupid, by the way.
Yeah, but it has to have dots in front of it.
Yes.
It has to.
Stupid.
All right. So this is the first one, the number 1 on my list, and I only kept ranking these for the first 6, after which point I'm like, you know what, I can't, because I'm insulting the other songs by deciding on a rank. But this is, and I'm going to go ahead and put this out here now, that this is going to be my top pick for the number 1 with a bullet. Scoundrel Days.
I got it.
Got it.
Blam.
Would not argue with that either.
Again, it's track 1, if I'm correct, on the album of the same name, right?
It is.
Is it track 1?
I believe that. Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, leaving Hunting High and Low into Scoundrel Days, it's different enough to where I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
I can tell the difference in the album. I can feel the growth of the band already.
Like instant depth.
Yeah.
Of what they're doing. Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah. And from that moment on, I'm in to the band. So, unanimous decision. All right, Bryan?
I will stay on that record as well. My second favorite record of theirs, probably. Manhattan Skyline.
I got it.
Yep.
Oh. There we go.
Definitely. That I think was probably, if not the first, one of the first songs that I can remember closing my eyes and letting a song build a scene in my head.
Yeah.
Would love to go into more, but I think that sums it up. That's what I have memory of about that song is now I can still picture in my head the scape that was created by that song when I first listened to it.
That's great. I mean, that's what all good music does for me.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
It's visual for me, not just auditory.
I loved listening to this, and the first time I couldn't tell you what pulled me. I was just like, I'm going to take this. And then the second time I was like, ooh, okay, so this can't go. But I still had it towards the bottom where it's like, it might get bumped out.
That was the first song from that record I added, even though it's not the opening track from the record. So, yeah.
All right. But we got 2 in. We have 2 in. I feel good about it. All right. So now do I try and stay above? Let's go back to Hunting High and Low. And Love is Reason.
Nope.
No, that was in the 30 that I was working with. It was the third one I cut. And honestly, it was it was cut because my list was so heavy from that album.
Makes sense.
It's like I got to start pulling some of these songs out, or I'm not going to have room for anything else.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I like this one, but I got to make a sacrifice. And it wasn't. Well, I can't say it was an easy one to make, but it was one of the easiest to make.
All right. Well, I don't feel so bad about it. That's going to shape some gameplay from here out too. So, all right, Jody.
All right. All right, I'm going to go ahead and run this one. I only kept 2 songs from this album, and it was painful to only have 2. So Start the Simulator.
Oh my god.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I adore this song, and after reading about what the intent was, I think I appreciated it even more.
I'm unfamiliar. Please elaborate.
So there was apparently a web chat with Paul talking about various songs, and this one came up, and he said that this was intended to be a requiem to Soviet-era space travel. The song is almost entirely made up of technical jargon, mostly out of the Apollo operating manuals.
Oh.
Very
So
nerdy. I like it.
He's using tech jargon to build a song that, even though it's a very technical wording wise, his goal was to have something soulful come out of it.
Those last 2 records were rough.
They are masters of opening and closing songs. I will say they're usually the best songs on the record. They're the bookends.
Yep. All right, Brian.
All right, I will go on that record, and this is my other song. I also have 2 from that record as well. The Bandstand.
I got it.
Yeah, which is the opening track from that
track.
record.
Yep.
So that's the opening and the closing tracks of that record, which are fucking fantastic. Listen to that record, Foot of the Mountain. Everyone.
It's funny because that comes off of if you're listening in order, Memorial Beach, and so I don't want to say Memorial Beach is lackluster, but it definitely left me okay, well, I'm ready for Aha to be done.
Yeah, it's meh, Memorial Beach. Yeah.
And then I hear the Bandstand, and I'm like, oh, ooh,
what
back.
a breath of fresh air that is.
Yeah.
Return the Form for them. Oh my God, I love that. That's a great record, man.
No,
It's okay. It's okay.
it isn't. It isn't the other one I had.
But it is in the combo, so we are still doing all right. All right, so it is my turn. Wow. That means neither of these are in, so I can skip those for now. I'm going to try out, we were talking about Memorial Beach there. I'm going to try out Sycamore Leaves. Definitely not.
That was from East of the Sun, wasn't it?
Oh, you're right. It is
Yeah.
East
Yeah.
of the Sun.
Yeah, because
Oh, that's okay. I got my colors mixed up.
that's
But
actually
Sycamore Leaves.
a reference to the origin of the title of the album.
Ah.
Because the title of the album is East of the Sun, West of the Moon,
Right.
is a Norwegian fairy tale.
Wow.
And
Jody with the info.
the story basically is this girl is betrothed to a bear that becomes a man at night.
It's me.
Big,
Spoiler alert.
a lot of details about how this all plays out, but the end of it is she loses him and goes to try to find him. And in part of the searching, she goes to the 4 winds looking for the castle that's east of the sun and west of the moon. And the north wind, the last of the 4 she encounters, says that he once blew a sycamore leaf to the castle. It's far away, but he can take her there if she really wants to go.
I mean, I couldn't have told you that story, obviously, but
Yeah.
clearly that story was there and grabbed me. Because, I mean, when you listen to Sycamore Leaves, it technically doesn't sound like an Aha song.
No.
As a matter of fact, I don't know if it's this one. They get kind of rockier in those middle records, and there's points where they sound like In Excess and
That's definitely a more in excess sounding song.
right, and
Sycamore Leaves.
that early '90s U2, and I was like, well, I need something that sounds like that here. And that's what
That was my pretentious cut that I made.
Oh, really?
I put it on the list just so I could talk about David Lynch, and I cut it anyway. So now I can talk about it. They sued David Lynch over a song he wrote. He wrote the lyrics for called "Sycamore Trees" for Twin Peaks because he felt the lyrical content was like plagiarism. But
Wow.
they lost the lawsuit. But anything for me to get to talk about David Lynch and Aha at the same time is great for me.
Wonderful.
So
Was I the only one?
I did cut that though.
So I was out on the lim
Yeah,
there.
that one didn't make it through.
See what I did there? Out on the limb. All right, Jody.
All right. So I guess we'll go ahead and stay with East of the Sun. And I'm going to go with Rolling Thunder.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
no.
And Rolling Thunder, listening to it, I could very easily have imagined Bono a la One Tree Hill singing this.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like that to me.
I wonder. I'm trying to figure if that is ultimately what made the cuts "quote unquote" easier for me. It's like, oh, well, this sounds more U2, or this sounds more in excess, and then for some reason, Sycamore Leaves like stuck out, and I was like, that's why I want this one. But I felt myself saying that a lot. I don't know if that subconsciously was why I was making those cuts, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened to Rolling Thunder. All right, Brian.
All right, I'll stay on that record as well, since nothing I've picked has been mentioned yet. Waiting for Her.
Oh God, nope.
No, that was the fourth one I cut out of my 30 that I had.
Mm.
Oh boy. So it's about this time.
This is what I thought was
Did we
going to
bring
happen.
out the protocol?
NTP is here just in case. We might be all right still. We still have plenty of gameplay left, but 2 are in, 3 are in the convo. So, panel members, I want you to be thinking of a song that got trashed for you and a song that got trashed for one of the other panel members, just in case we need them.
I already know what mine is.
All right, so it is my turn.
Yeah, I believe so.
Well, might as well toss it out here. From Cast and Steel, Cast and Steel.
That is the one I put back in today.
Hey, all right.
That is the one I cut today.
Okay. Tradesies.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the one I cut walking up the stairs today to your place.
Now, was that cut 21 to 20, or was that a swap out?
That was 21 to 20.
Okay, because mine was a swap out. So I'm now curious to see if what I swapped out ends up getting played. I'm going to think it probably won't.
All right, Jody. Let's find out.
All right. All right, we'll do this. Going to play one of the Memorial Beach ones I had, one of the ones that did stand out enough. And in part, it stands out because it sounded like someone else. Moved to Memphis.
I got it.
And the whole time I'm listening to it, I'm thinking of J.D. Fortune MNXS's last released album singing this song. That's what I got out of it.
I do not have it, but the two of you do. So.
Convo. It makes it to the convo.
Something needs to.
I know, right?
We have 2 really good ones so far. I mean,
Yeah. Our unanimous ones are unanimous for a reason.
Yeah.
All right, Brian.
All right, I'll go with Memorial Beach as well. My least favorite record, for the record. Dark is the Night for All.
Yep.
Oh,
I have that.
I do not.
I like more I like more the Aha songs that sound like Aha. So usually when they venture out, I'm like, but I liked your band though.
Yeah.
He's saying he listens to Aha because it's Aha?
Eh,
What is
weird.
this madness?
Weird. I know.
What's wrong with you?
Crazy.
Just insanity. All right. All right, I'll put this one out here. I feel like we've stayed away from Hunting High and Low long enough. Living a Boy's Adventure Tale.
No.
That didn't even make it through my first
my
pass.
gosh.
Nah, neither.
All right. Justin is trash. No.
See, this is one I'm going to call you stupid.
I don't want to say you're stupid, but it's fine to not be smart.
Not everybody can be.
That's true.
Exactly.
It's all right.
Very true.
Somebody has to be the host.
There's only 4% of the world's population have my IQ. It's fine. No big deal.
All right, Jody.
All right. Well, since we are back at Hunting High and Low, I'll go ahead and do the title track on that.
Yep, I got it.
I don't. I do not. Let's see. There we go. Slide that over to the convo. Slide it to the convo. All right, Brian.
All right, what do I want to do here? This is one of my. I probably should have cut the song, but I didn't because I fucking love James Bond. and I had a conversation with my buddy Bryan. Not me, obviously. I wasn't talking to myself.
Because you're not your buddy.
Yeah. I'm my only friend, really. We were talking about how he and I were the only other person who knows the other hit song from Aha, which was The Living Daylights, because we were both James Bond fans. Mainstream hits, anyway, I should say. So I love The Living Daylights. I love the movie. I love Timothy Dalton as James Bond. I don't give a shit. They tried to do what they did with Daniel Craig successfully, but they didn't do it properly with Timothy Dalton. But I love both themes that he had in both of his movies, and Living Daylights is one of them.
I'd have to relist that. I am a more recent Bond fan. Daniel Craig's what brought me in.
Yeah, I only really love Skyfall.
Skyfall's wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, the prior two, I like for perhaps the wrong reasons. They're just, really stupid adventure films.
Yeah. Well, they're all stupid adventure films, but I always loved James Bond.
So, I did not have The Living Daylights, but I think I may have to go back and listen to that, and may have to go back and watch the movie.
I will say it wasn't on this list at all. If you want to listen to Aha, go listen to their Unplugged record they put out 2 years ago, I believe. 2 years ago. This is the worst version of the song they do, but the Take on Me from that version is by far better than the original.
Wow.
I think so anyway. There's some great, it just shows off the beautiful voice that guy has. I mean, no one sounds like him. No one can hit the notes he can in the way that like Freddie Mercury can.
He still holds the Guinness Book of World Record for the longest held live note.
What's funny is like we're heaping all this praise, and we have been this whole time, but I feel like it keeps getting lost in the conversation. Like
these guys are so fucking talented in everything they do.
I think it has to be that one-hit wonder syndrome.
Yep, absolutely.
Because I'd say the same thing about Hanson. Hanson's a one-hit wonder, but they're three talented dudes. Now, I can't get into the discography. Mostly because
we can cut this part out, right?
I go to bat for Hanson almost every episode now. It's insane.
What's better than we went on that diatribe about kind of defending Nickelback a couple episodes ago?
Yes.
So, I didn't have The Living Daylights, and that is the reason why Cast and Steel is in the conversation.
Oh.
That's the one I pulled out.
Wow.
And I pulled it out because I was like, that's the one that I thought the odds are low that y'all would have. And if I had known you were as much of a Bond fan,
I'm a diehard James Bond fan.
But then we wouldn't have Cats and Steel, which I think needs to be there.
I would agree with that. I'm fine that you cut it for Cats and Steel. So yeah,
it's weird how this game plays. I'm gonna go back to Scoundrel Days because I feel like we've left that one alone for a while.
Oh yes.
This one grabbed my ear the first time, and when I heard it, I was like, I didn't even need to go back to it. I was like, no, that one's in. Cry Wolf.
No.
That
makes me happy.
That was the fourth from the last I cut. That was number 24.
God. It makes me so happy to be wrong. Jesus.
It's fine that you have two people who like Aha than you.
Yes. All right, Jody.
All right, well, I guess we'll stay with Scoundrel Days. I've been losing you.
Yep.
I got it.
Absolutely.
Wowzers. Look at that.
Everything we hit on is from Scoundrel Days so far.
Yep. Wow. All right. And I think we just got ourselves out of NTP too. Yep.
All right.
So if worst case scenario, everything in the combo gets pulled.
No. I'm still going to bat for my favorite song that nobody else had except for me. So
yeah,
I'm still evoking it later.
He may initiate the Fredo Protocol.
Oh jeez. I don't want the Fredo Protocol ever again. All right, Bryan.
You dudes are stupid.
I'm gonna close out that record for me for picks. We're looking for the bull. We're looking for the whale. Sorry, Cry Wolf's got my head.
I do not have that one.
Beautiful vocals in that song.
I cut. That was the second one I cut, and it was the first Pain cut.
Yeah.
I wanted to keep it. I really, really wanted to keep it.
I couldn't bring myself to cut it. So.
And the thing was, is I ended up cutting it because the main reason that I was keeping it was a personal association, and that's why I allowed myself to cut it. But I really didn't want to.
Isn't it weird? Like, you actually mentioned this at some point, Jody, when we were just because we put together a chat for the panel members and kind of discussed, what we're bringing into the discussion and just kind of general thoughts about
this is
the
a
band.
peek behind the scenes, everyone.
Right. And Jody mentioned something along the lines of you couldn't tell if with certain songs, and this happens to me all the time, if you're able to separate, do I really just like this song or am I just personally attached?
Right.
And many of Aha's songs I have that problem with.
And I mean, sometimes it's one and the same.
Yeah.
Is the thing.
Yeah, and that's hard to identify.
Uh-huh. It's really hard to identify.
That's more of a
know,
problem
just
for me
twisting the
with bands like Talking Heads and Radiohead, where it's is this their best song, or do I just equate it to something meaningful in
Something
my life,
more, yeah.
or where I was, or what it inspired me to do, blah blah blah. So, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and it's just funny when it. I shouldn't use the word funny, but when it happens to when seeing somebody in my seat, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't know, this band's new for me, so but.
Right.
You're welcome, by the way. It's better than Alabama, is it not?
Oh, geez.
This is the gift
that
we
hasn't
give you,
happened.
bro. We give you this gift.
Yeah.
And I mean, you didn't appreciate it as much as you should have, but
It's fine.
it's okay. Because once you give a gift, it's not yours anymore to control. And you're done with it what you will, and that's cool.
I still have to make 3 more cuts for Alabama, by the way.
Oh. How did you even have 20 to begin with?
I could probably get 2 or 3 songs.
I hope nobody's listening that is an Alabama. I'm not knocking your band. We'll talk about it in great detail when the episode comes out.
Fuck the state of Alabama. I don't care.
But
I'd be more happy with the band than I would with the state.
Probably. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
will say that the other panel members of Alabama were surprised I was able to pull 23 songs, which, by the way, that'll be the first cut. Like, I pulled 23. Pretty
And
liberal
you still
with my
have
polls.
to make.
I still have to make 3 cuts.
Wow.
So I cut almost.
You know what? I commend you, sir.
Hey,
I
somebody's
admire
gotta
your
do it.
resolve.
You
my
may be
friend.
stupid, but you're a better man.
I am absolutely
You may
stupid.
be stupid, but you're tough.
I'm tough as a $2 steak. All right. You know what? I'm going to trot out my last pick from Stay on These Roads because I feel like we haven't been there. It was a bit of a battleground early on. The Blood That Moves the Body.
Yes.
Mm-mm. A hard cut for me.
All right. It is in the convo, though, so I'm okay with that. And let me see where I'm at. I still have 7 picks.
I'm really fine with every song from Scoundrel Days and Stay on These Roads being on the list. I don't care.
All right. Jody?
Okay, then I'll go ahead and play what I have left for Stay on These Roads. This Alone Is Love.
Hard cut.
I don't have it either.
All right, well, I have 3 more from that record, so I'll
There
do
you
one
go.
more. Clearly, nobody has it, so I'm just going to just whiff.
Throw them out there.
There's never a forever thing.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, well, apparently not.
That
Oh
is.
Oh, my God.
That was my second to last cut.
That was 21.
So,
That
yeah.
was 21.
I guess technically that was 21 as well for me because the last cut was a
It was a
swap.
swap, yeah.
So yeah, that was that was 21.
I don't know how. I'm going to be devising a way to get that one in because I feel like I really wanted that one and I cut it for God knows why. All right, my turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll toss this one out here. Might as well. We haven't done a lot from East of the Sun. I Call Your Name. Into the Darkness.
No.
No,
Over
no, I
and
don't
over.
have that.
Nobody really hears me, so.
What?
Exactly. Exactly.
Mm.
All right, Jody.
Okay. All right, I'll close out Memorial Beach. Lamb to the Slaughter.
Oh, my God.
Mm-mm.
No.
All right, well, I'll whiff as well from the same record, Angel in the Snow.
Oh my God. Nope.
Hear me, kid.
That means
No.
no. That one was definitely on my radar. I hate that. I hate when it's on my radar. And I made that cut. I hate that. Hate that.
Have I talked about any song from East of the Sun yet?
I don't think so.
I didn't think so either. I was like, I don't remember if I mentioned one of these yet.
Let's keep the whiffing for Memorial Beach going.
All right.
Lie Down in Darkness.
That was one that I did cut. I initially had more from that record just because I felt obligated to.
Mhm.
Just because I didn't get to the last two records yet. But that was one of the ones I cut for sure.
No, it didn't make it.
That one, I think, honestly only stayed around because I felt like I needed representation.
Yeah.
So,
I only kept the two I kept because of that.
right. All right, Jody?
All right. Go ahead and close out Foot of the Mountain. Sunny Mystery.
Nope. Nope.
Don't have it, but god damn it, great record. Cannot stress enough how great that record is. Actually.
All right, Bryan?
Okay. I will do East of the Sun since I haven't done anything yet. Early Morning.
Early morning. I don't have it.
Nor do I.
It's fine.
I have two more from that album. Just not that was.
I have two more as well, so hopefully we can match on one of those.
Hey.
I hate when, again, because some of these ones that I have left, like I'm having trouble remembering them. And then he says early morning and it comes right back to me.
Yeah.
It's like, well, how did I mess that up?
'Cause you stupid.
Yes. Very true. All right. Let me trot out my last from Cast and Steel. Clear it out. Forest Fire.
Yes, absolutely.
No. I have two more from that, but that was not of them.
All right.
Opening track.
Yep. Not on purpose, though. I will tell you that. I didn't pull that on purpose. Even though the bandstand I absolutely pulled because it was a track one. All right. Jody?
All right. I will go ahead and close out Scoundrel Days. The Swing of Things.
No.
Nope. Got a good portion of that album picked,
I
though.
misspoke. That is not the opening track of Cast and Steel. Forgive me.
Oh. All right, Bryan?
Okay. Let me see. I guess I'll just do more East of the Sun. Slender Frame.
Yes.
All right. Back on track, kind of.
Let's see. Nope. Where'd it go? There it is. Put that over here into the convo. All right. I asked the question. I forgot to do it a couple days ago like I normally do. I asked both Twitter and Facebook what they consider essential. Only got one answer. It was one of my 20, so I'm going to play it.
Hey.
The Sun Always Shines on TV.
Yes.
Absolutely.
There we go. Got it.
Hey, look, we got
Back on
something
track.
other than a Scoundrel Days song in our. That's cool.
Yep. We got 4 all the way through. So this combo is about to get intense, I feel like.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to miss on all my last 3 that I have.
Same. I know for a fact 2 are out. So, all right, Jody?
All right, so this will be the last one from this album. So the title, East of the Sun.
Oh, nope.
No. I did cut that one. I had it at one point.
It's the same, actually. Yeah. It was on my first round. All right, Bryan?
I'll close out my East of the Sun, Waiting for Her.
Oh. That one was definitely one of my...
That was the 4th one I cut from the 30 I had.
Wow. We got most of that album over in the trash somehow.
I have 1 left, gentlemen.
I have 2.
I've got 3, and so I'll see if I can't bounce off of Jody here. Nothing Is Keeping You Here from Foot of the Mountain.
No, because I already closed out that album.
Yeah,
All I've
me
got
too.
left is stuff from Cast and Steel.
Oh,
Same.
okay. So you guys might bounce off each other, but I'm essentially out. All right, Jody?
All right. This one was kind of a difficult to listen to song. It's one of it, and there's a few artists have done songs like this, and then sadly at this moment I'm going blank on the other artists and the other songs. But this is their I'd like to still pretend we're together for a moment under the makeup.
Oh, that one actually. Obviously, I don't have it, but that one was.
Nah, I cut it. It was too similar sounding, I guess, to the other ones that I think are more standout from that record.
All right, Bryan.
All right, I'll go with my last one, which is "Giving Up the Ghost."
Oh God,
No.
cannot say enough about those last two records. Seriously, I really can't.
Yeah, they're fantastic. I think "Foot of the Mountain" more so than "Cast in Steel." Nothing against "Cast in Steel," but I think "Foot of the Mountain's" a great return to form record.
Absolutely. Well, even though I know these will miss, might as well trot them out there. My last two: "Riding the Crest" from Foot of the Mountain,
That was a hard cut.
and "Crying in the Rain" from East of the Sun.
Ooh, that was a hard cut too.
Yeah.
I needed a crying song because there's like a good number of them.
I mean, I'm in.
All right, Jody.
All right,
Clear 'em out.
this is what I got left. Objects in the Mirror.
Oh,
Mm,
let's see.
I hate this show.
You're a bastard, Justin.
So before we get to the next level of convo, it should be pointed out, we've said this several times, I think to get optimal aha, first two, last two, like absolute peak aha, I say first two, last two.
Yeah.
Like if you want your best, absolute, well, you know what, maybe first three, last. I loved Cast in Steel, but I think I'm with you, Foot of the Mountain is better.
Great record.
So maybe first three and Foot of the Mountain to get optimal.
"Stay on These Roads" is my favorite record of theirs. So their third
Interesting.
record, yeah,
So yeah, okay. So 1, 2, 3, and
yeah,
then
the last two.
yeah.
I could do without Memorial Beach, to be quite honest.
Same.
Yeah.
East of the Sun has some good has a couple good songs on it, but for the most part, I think it's they tried to branch out way too far. But
No, that's how I felt. Is like the sound shifted a little too far. Like
Yeah.
I enjoyed it plenty, but when doing a show like this, trying to put together their sound, it's just like,
if that were the band that they initially were, I would not be a fan.
oh, I get that.
Yeah,
I definitely get that.
because there's nothing remarkable about it.
No, it's and there's especially at the time there's plenty other bands doing that better.
Yeah.
So, all right. So our 4 in Scoundrel Days, Manhattan Skyline, I've Been Losing You, The Sun Always Shines on TV. I'm so happy Manhattan Skyline was undisputed.
So no more from Scoundrel Days. Let's cut that out.
Well, oddly enough, nothing else got into the combo.
Okay.
So we need 6 out of these 10.
What do we have from Foot of the Mountain? Bandstand?
Yep.
And Start the Simulator?
And Start the Simulator. Yep.
I would say both of those, but
I like both of them.
and that's what, 6 then? If we put both those there?
That would be 6, yeah. I honestly feel like Bandstand should be a 100% because the return to form. And again, if you're listening
Yes.
in chronological,
Let's put the other on the back burner, but Bandstand for sure.
how do you feel about that, Jody? Oh,
I
opposition.
okay. This isn't an argument, really. It's not an
It is
argument
now,
in a
bitch.
technical sense. What it is that I got lost in listening to Start the Simulator.
Okay.
So it's an emotional thing. But as far as, technical quality of the song, I can't actually argue.
Here's what I'm saying.
I 100% want both of them on the list, but let's see where we are. Actually, let's put both of them on the back burner for right now.
Okay.
But let's save 2 spots open on the list, and then let's go.
I'll say this: Start the Simulator was on my radar too. So like, I thought it was a great tune. So, well, let me run down the 10, and we'll start seeing what we can cut. Train of Thought, Hunting High and Low, The Blood That Moves the Body, Start the Simulator, The Bandstand, Move to Memphis, Forest Fire, Cast in Steel, Dark as the Night for All. Let me scroll that, move that one up there.
We should
And
put that
Slender
one
Frame.
through because that's the only thing we have from Memorial Beach, is it not?
We've got Move to Memphis and Dark as the Night for All.
Darker Than Night is one of mine, so obviously I'm more inclined to go with that one.
Move to Memphis, I enjoy a great deal, but it doesn't sound like an Aha song.
If we only have room for one of those two, then I would go with Dark as the Night, and I have both of those.
Right. So let's start with this because I feel like East of the Sun would be here. Do we want representation from everything? Do we feel like that's an important
I usually try to get that, yeah.
Because if that's the case, Stay on These Roads, the only thing from that is The Blood That Moves the Body. And the only thing from East of the Sun, West of the Moon is Slender Frame.
Slender Frame. I mean, I had Slender Frame. I did not have the other from Stay on These Roads. But I definitely want that record represent. Like, yeah.
All right, so are you with that?
Yeah.
Putting those two through?
Yeah.
All right, so that puts us at 6. So we have 4 more spots. And we have...
Do we only have one from Hunting High and Low
Yep.
on the list right now?
Yep.
Can we put through Train of Thought?
I'm with it because, again, it changed my perception of the band.
I mean, you can't go wrong with either that or Hunting High and Low, which is the other one from that
Right.
record, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, it was my technical second to the last cut, and a painful one at
Well,
that.
those were 2 and 3 on the...
I
didn't even
I
realize
think
that.
that Train of Thought is a more diverse sounding song than Hunting High and Low is.
Yeah,
Which I think
Definitely is.
would merit its inclusion on this list more, but
How you feeling, Jody? You pulling towards one or the other?
if we're trying to put a second song from that album in, I would take Train of Thought over Hunting High and Low,
All right.
if that's what we're trying to do.
Let's pull Train of Thought. Let's lose Hunting High and Low. All right. So we are at 7, I think. Yep. So we have 3 more.
wait, what happened to the Sun Shines on TV?
That is the other,
that was
because we had
unanimous.
one
Oh,
song
that's right.
already.
Okay, that's
So,
right. Okay.
Just to say, if we're going to do 2,
All
then
right.
we're doing that one.
Okay, good.
All right. So there are 6 left. And if we're looking at representation, it's 3 albums. So we can only take 1 from each album. So that puts the album songs in direct opposition with each other. So that means Move to Memphis versus Dark as the Night for All. I'm trying to get this thing to work. I don't know what's going on here with me Spotify gimmick. Just give myself even though it never ever helps to actually listen. Oh, Dark as the Night for All is a track 1 even.
You're so small.
It's funny. The first thing I thought of was it Verve Pipe? For the life of me.
I'm really fine with not representing this record. If it means I can put
Ouch.
both Start the Simulator and the Bandstand.
See, that's just screaming an excess switch
Yeah.
to me, that it is. And that's not in any way a bad thing, but I guess I kind of have to agree that if we're trying to get people to listen to Aha, we should make them listen to Aha. If we
Yeah.
want them to listen to NXS, we should have them listen to NXS.
Which they can. They
Which
can go
they
back
can. And they
go
can hear
November.
Bryan and I again
Yes.
and
Yeah.
wonder why in the world we're still here.
I love Move to Memphis. I think it is a great track, but it is absolutely not representative of...
But there's an argument to be made, and I didn't have that song at all, and I'm making this argument. There is something to say about their diversity as artists.
Mhm.
So maybe put that on there. I don't know, because Dark as the Night is like, it sounds like Aha. So,
Yeah, I see where you're going with this.
and there's already 7 Aha songs on this list. So
well, how about this? We'll lose Dark as the Night for All here. We'll keep Move to Memphis because I know that Start the Simulator versus Bandstand is already tough enough. So let's do this next. Forest Fire versus Cast and Steel. I lean towards Forest Fire.
I
had 'em
do
both.
too, because I only had Forest Fire on my list.
Go. Let's see. Cast and Steel's a track 1.
Yeah.
Already in.
And then
Yeah,
Forest Fire.
I was sold on that the moment.
Didn't realize. More aha.
It's
aha
more
sounding.
early aha sounding.
Mhm. I mean, it's you could put that in direct competition with Take on Me, really.
And
Whereas
then
this
is
get a little bit so pretty. In some ways, it sounds very different. Even. Why do I do this to myself? It really just made it harder for no reason.
I mean, this is your show, so you
I
have
know.
no excuse. I don't know why I keep coming here. I've done more episodes of this show than I did any show that I ever had.
Oh,
And I still have, 5 or 6 I've still signed up for in the
I'm
future?
pretty sure. Yeah, ELO being one of them.
I'm just
and we'll meet again.
I'm a
Yep.
masochist, man.
And we'll both tell each other how much we hate this.
Oh, I might fight somebody over ELO.
Yeah.
They're my favorite band of all
there,
time.
There may
so,
be some blood drawn.
yeah.
Oh,
If even anyone mentions this single, I might just flip over a chair.
uh-oh. I mean, it'll be a discovery for me.
Except
so
for one. There's one acceptable answer to that, and that's it.
You're gonna have to cut me some slack because I'm.
Oh,
not
cuts will
familiar, so-
happen.
I'm bringing a knife, actually.
All right, so here's our remaining 5, and see if anything weights.
I don't want to
Heavier.
I don't want to do this, man. Can we just not? Can we just change the show? You said there's no rules last time we were here.
We gotta have 10.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean we can't have more. You didn't say we
Yeah,
have to
we
have
at
10.
least
We've
10.
got to have 10.
We have
gotta
at
have
least
10.
and we can easily get 10 plus. That's not a problem.
I don't want to do that. Don't be Fredo.
I don't care anymore, man. I don't believe anything anymore.
Move to Memphis, Start the Simulator, The Bandstand, Forest Fire, Cast and Steel. Now, after listening to them, I think I'm leaning more towards Cast and Steel, mostly because I feel like we have traditional aha sound covered.
Fair.
I think.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I love Forest Fire. I think, again, great return to form, but. So let's take Cast and Steel. All right. Now the question becomes, do we want the 2 from Foot of the Mountain, or do we want 1 from Foot of the Mountain and Move to Memphis? Move to Memphis at this point represents literally only, hey, this is something that they're able to do. They're able to do this sound. Do we think that's important enough to keep it? Because if you're asking me, I'm inclined to keep the 2 Foot of the Mountain songs at this point.
I really don't know what the right answer to that is, because I'm the one who made a case for the other argument, even though I didn't have that song.
Right.
See, if we were talking about using Dark as the Night for All, I could make an argument. I could try, anyway, to make an argument for that over Start the Simulator. But Move to Memphis, Start the Simulator is going to win.
Mm-hmm. So let's drop Move to Memphis then. I mean, considering all 3 of us kind of had the same feelings about Memorial Beach, the fact that it lasted this long is tremendous. And as I always like to mention, if you're listening to this, I suggest you collect the songs that come up in conversation and give them all a listen. Give the 10 a listen, and then give everything that all
Except
the
for the
whippers
ones that Justin picked, because
Yeah,
we've established
'cause
that he's
Justin's
an idiot.
stupid.
don't
And he
listen to
doesn't
my
like
picks.
Aha, apparently.
Do not listen to my picks because I was wrong about all of them. That gives us our 10. Let me run them down. And
This is so hard. This is one of the hardest shows I've done.
Scoundrel Days, Manhattan Skyline, I've Been Losing You, The Sun Always Shines on TV, Train of Thought, Slender Frame, The Blood That Moves the Body, The Bandstand, Start the Simulator, Cast and Steel. Make sure that's 10. That is 10. How do y'all feel about that? It's a good 10. It's a really good 10.
It's a good change. Good
So,
change.
Has this discussion changed your thoughts on Scoundrel Days at all, Jody?
No.
No.
It hasn't. And I'm not going to say that I am going to riot for that, but it hasn't changed my opinion as that being my top pick for the number one.
How you feeling, Bryan?
I'd be totally fine with that, actually. Otherwise, I would say Train of Thought.
Okay. So we're all kind of on the same wavelength. I think Scoundrel Days is the one.
Yeah, for sure.
Train of Thought changed my perception of the band, and the only other one I'd even consider is Bandstand, just because of the way it brought them back to what they can do.
No, because you have to know where they started to figure out where they ended up. So
Also fair.
yeah,
But yeah, really, Train of Thought, Scoundrel Days would be the only ones I even consider.
I'm
So
100% behind this.
So
Yeah.
we'll go with Scoundrel Days, make it easier on ourselves. I'm going to run them down again. Scoundrel Days, Manhattan Skyline, I've Been Losing You, The Sun Always Shines on TV, Train of Thought, Slender Frame, The Blood That Moves the Body, The Bandstand, Start the Simulator, Cast in Steel. That's a hot 10. I think we can pull in some new AHA fans with that. And if you want to start the simulator, there's one way to do it. Patreon.com/ohhijustin. $1 a month gets me simulating, I don't know, a podcaster. I guess that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. It's a reasonable render.
Can you change it to Aha Justin for one day?
I'll figure out how to do that. I'll just be way up here. That was awful. Or awesome.
Yes, it was that.
It was one of those.
This is
One
what
of
I'm
those
paying
words.
$5 a month for, everyone.
You're welcome. But since Bryan brought it up, you do get the deprogrammed podcast early. You get it before the rest of the world. You also get the Oh Hi Justin Daily Pod. That's 5 days a week of me just pretty much spilling my guts. Sometimes it's good. A lot of times it's not. But it helps me, and hopefully in turn I can help you. We also put the Wrestle Pals podcast out on there. My kids are out. Your Music Show podcast goes out on there. Let's see, what else am I doing? The Bell and Dubs in the Morning show is out officially.
Yeah.
And Bryan is on this week's show, so if you haven't listened to it,
Well,
So
not the
am
week that
I.
we're going to air this, but
you're
you
right.
know.
Last
But
week,
maybe.
I'm
Yeah.
on there too.
Think about that. How crazy is that? Last week, the both of you were on Bell and Dubs, and this week,
Here we are.
I mean,
Yeah.
this was not on purpose either.
It just shows that you have no friends except for the the two of us.
Also true.
We are your life. We are your world.
Thank you.
We are also
Branch
children.
out, man. Branch out, please.
I should branch out maybe. But speaking of putting the two of you in the same room again, I'm going to be putting the two of you in the same room with Jenny Zell, also from Bell and Dubs in the morning.
I'm gonna.
Shit's
gonna
gonna get weird.
It's funny that like you guys are finally going to be on a show together
I
after
know.
all these years.
I can't believe that Jenny and I have never landed on a band before.
And it's going to be ELO, the
I'm
one
gonna-
where you're
I'm gonna punch
ready to
somebody.
fight.
I think one of the three of us isn't going to make it out of here alive.
Yeah. I've been working out. It's not gonna be me that doesn't walk out of here.
I mean, the good thing is I'm usually pretty much a pushover as well.
I mean, you are a pussover. Yeah.
So, you don't have to worry about me putting up too much opposition. I am looking forward to, though, like, this is a good track record with the bands I've done with you two so far. So, just saying.
He's a pretty little liar, everyone.
Yeah.
Well,
Especially with that new haircut.
you like it?
It's different. It hasn't really sunk in yet, but it can work. It can work.
I didn't like the ponytail on me. It didn't work for me.
It fits your look of being an idiot more. So
That's also true. I was wearing pigtails out to Wrestle Pals.
Of course you
and
were.
just stop talking, please.
My wife was getting pretty upset with me. So I was like, okay, well, I
You know
think
what? The fact that you're not divorced is a testament to your wife.
This is true. This is very, very, very true. We would greatly appreciate it if you went to patreon.com/ohhi. Justin, I want to put that out there one more time. The two of you and Jenny will be joining me for ELO soonish. I'll put the thing together and we'll figure out what we're going to cover because they have a deep discography.
That may very well cause the first blood to be drawn.
Yep. I guarantee you it will.
where we put
Yep.
the lines.
Yep.
Oh boy. So so before we leave, how deep of a discography are we talking about here?
We could do every record as far as
Jesus.
I'm concerned.
The only problem I have with that is having enough time to do it. Otherwise, I don't have a problem with that at all.
Wow.
It'll
'Cause-
make the show painful,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
It depends on where the cutoff. If you're gonna cut it off before they broke up and got back together, that's fine. But
Again, I'm not familiar, so I'll concede to the pros.
but then you
where
also
we-
have their first record, which was when Redwood was also a co-songwriter with Jeff Lynne, and then he left after the first record, and then ELO took a while to get to their own kind of thing as Jeff Lynne's ELO to their their fourth record when they came into their own. But just nerding out right now.
So this will be conversation that we'll
Yeah.
have to have. I'll be putting it together soon, and if we decide to go longer, because PJ Harvey is on the horizon, and James wouldn't back off and is insisting all 11 records. And I'm like, okay, it's going to be a while. The conversation will be interesting, to say the least. I'm digging it so far. So with that being said, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, yeah? Thank you both for joining me. I really do appreciate it. For
Been a great
driving out here
pleasure.
in the rain and causing yourselves a great deal of pain.
Yes, soul wrenching, life changing.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah.
Learn them and love them, people. We'll see you next week. Bye.